Hi everyone, welcome back to learn about the classification of polymers based on the molecular forces. A large number of polymer applications find in its use in different fields depending on their unique molecular properties which are governed by intermolecular forces like van der Waals forces and hydrogen bonds present in the polymer. So, under this category, the polymers can be classified into subgroups like elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic polymers and thermosetting polymers. First of all, let us learn in detail about elastomers. Elastomers are nothing but they are rubbers. These elastomers are polymers in which the polymer chains are held up by weakest attractive forces. We can stretch a elastomer to some extent by applying some force, and when it is released it comes back to its original position. It is because they contain randomly coiled molecular chains with few crosslinks. And formation of Buna S rubber, Buna N rubber and neoprene are all examples of elastomers. Elastomers or rubbers are in turn classified into natural rubber and synthetic rubber. The best example for natural rubber is polyisoprene. Polyisoprene is the polymer which is obtained from the natural rubber tree, which is called Hevea brasiliensis. From the rubber latex, we can polymerize the rubber latex to polyisoprene. This rubber latex is a colloidal dispersion of rubber in water. So, the linear monomer present in that is isoprene. The chemical formula of isoprene is 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. Isoprene is 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene, which polymerizes to cis-1,4-polyisoprene, and that is natural rubber. So, this is the reaction or polymerization reaction of natural rubber obtained from the monomer isoprene. Isoprene is 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. It polymerizes to give you polyisoprene. Next comes the synthetic rubber. The first synthetic rubber ever prepared was Buna S rubber. Buna S rubber is obtained by the addition polymerization between 1,3-butadiene and styrene. 1,3-butadiene and styrene polymerizes to give you Buna S rubber. The next example for the synthetic rubber is Buna N rubber, which is obtained by the polymerization between 1,3-butadiene and acrylonitrile. All these polymerizations take place under heat and pressure in the presence of a catalyst. Since the monomers are different, here you call this polymerization as copolymerization, and the product obtained is called a copolymer. The double bond breaks and the single bond is forming the double bond. That is the change taking place in the polymerization. The next synthetic rubber is neoprene rubber, which is obtained by free radical polymerization of chloroprene. Chloroprene is 2-chloro-1,3-butadiene. This 2-chloro-1,3-butadiene polymerizes under heat and pressure to give you neoprene. So, Buna S rubber, Buna N rubber, neoprene rubber, all these are very good examples of synthetic rubbers. This neoprene rubber is little more harder than natural rubber and it does not require vulcanization. This property is little superior compared to natural rubber, and it is also known for its fire retardant property. Neoprene finds its application in cable insulations, conveyor belts, shoe soles and reactor linings. The next classification of polymers based on the molecular forces is fibers. Fibers are polymers that can be drawn in the form of long filaments. The minimum length of the fiber will be 100 times the diameter of the molecule. They undergo deformation easily. They are hard, rigid and stiff. They undergo poor deformation, or they undergo irreversible deformation. These fibers in turn are classified into natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Natural fibers can be obtained from plants and animals. Cotton, wool, jute and silk are all examples of natural fibers. Synthetic fibers include nylon, rayon, polyester, terling, etc. These are fibers with minimum elasticity. They are rigid and stiff and undergo irreversible deformation. Based on the thermal response, the polymers can be classified into thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics are otherwise called thermosoftening plastics, which have no cross links between the chains. They are held by weak forces of attraction, and when they are heated they become soft, and when it is cooled it becomes hard. At the same time, thermosetting plastics are held together by strong covalent crosslinks that do not break on heating, and they remain hard when heating, and further heating deforms it. It cannot be reshaped, just like thermoplastics. As the thermoplastics can be as the thermoplastics become soft on heating, they can be reshaped and remolded into desired shapes. Polythene, polystyrene and polyvinyl chloride, all these are very good examples of thermoplastics. Actually, when the thermoplastic material is heated, it becomes soft, and when it is cooled, it becomes hard. This property of thermoplastics finds its application in converting trash to treasure, or you can get wealth from waste. All the unwanted items can be heated. Unwanted thermoplastic materials can be heated. They become soft and they can be remolded into various other desired shapes. So this is the best application of thermoplastic. Thermosetting plastics cannot be reshaped and remolded like thermoplastics. They cannot be reused. Some examples of thermosetting plastics are bakelite, urea formaldehyde resins, etc. So these are some materials made up of urea formaldehyde resins. Urea formaldehyde raw material and other end products which are made out of urea formaldehyde resin. The next classification of polymers is based on the mode of polymerization. Based on the mode of polymerization, you can classify the polymers into addition polymers and condensation polymers. The simple addition of monomers to give you a polymer in the presence of heat and pressure is called addition polymerization. Formation of polyethylene, formation of polystyrene, formation of polyvinyl chloride, all these are good examples for addition polymerization. So we have to note an important principle while representing a polymer. Actually, the repeating unit should be shown within brackets, and side links should be there to indicate that both the sides are attached to other repeating units. So this is how we represent the addition polymer. The next polymerization is copolymerization. As we have already mentioned, if the polymer is composed of two different monomers, or if the polymer is obtained by the addition of two different monomers, you call that as a copolymer. The product is called copolymer and the polymerization process is called copolymerization. Buna-S rubber is a copolymer which is obtained by the copolymerization between butadiene and styrene. Next classification is condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization is obtained by repeated condensation reactions between bifunctional or trifunctional monomeric units. These bifunctional monomeric units, when they react, there is elimination of small groups like water or alcohol or HCl, etc. Formation of nylon from hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid is a very good example for a condensed polymer. The next condensation here we see is a formation of protein. Protein is a natural polymer which is obtained by the condensation between amino acids. Amino acids have an amino group and an acid group. So they are bifunctional. When these bifunctional amino acids condense, there is elimination of a molecule of water resulting in the formation of protein. So this is a condensed product because there is elimination during the polymerization. Now here we can see a dicarboxylic acid. There are two carboxylic acid groups. When a dicarboxylic acid is combining with a diamide, you get a polyamide with the amide linkage. Nylon 6,6 is a very good example for polyamide. This nylon 6,6 is obtained by the condensation between adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. So these two, when they undergo polymerization or when they undergo condensation polymerization, there is elimination of water molecule resulting in the formation of nylon 6,6. So nylon 6,6 is a condensed product. Then condensation polymerization between a diacid and a diol. A dicarboxylic acid, when it is reacting with a diol, they undergo condensation polymerization and the resulting product is an ester, polyester. The best example for a polyester is terling. Here there is elimination of water molecule, hence this polymerization is called condensation polymerization. Hope you all have got a clear idea on the classification of polymers based on the molecular forces, based on the mode of polymerization, etc. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to watch our next video on the chemistry of polymerization.